Hello everybody, my name is Troublmaker, and as always I have a tutorial for Wargame AirLand Battle. And this is me queued up against a computer just to kind of show this specific thing that we'll be talking about, which is going to be command armor positions, or command positions, and indirectly command choices. So to start off, we have two types of commands in our decks. We're going to have a less armored command, and for some people they might choose this one to be their less armored command. And then there will be a more armored command. In this case I'm going with this one. So you want to have a cheaper command and a more expensive command. The point of your more expensive, more armored command will be the frontline warrior. He'll be taking Delta, he'll be taking Echo, he'll be taking Foxtrot and Golf. And the Jeep will always be a base or two behind. You can always rally in way more Jeeps than you can these armored commands. And of course the Jeep will staying at Hotel. Now, we have a problem though. When we go to our Jeep, it doesn't have a lot of armor. Specifically top armor, and these lightly armored cheap Jeeps usually have 0 top armor on their vehicle description. So that is a problem because artillery will devastate something without top armor, and so will aircraft. So we have to kind of move this command armor to a place where it's not likely to die. Now this is always the first impulsive place where people place their command armors or commands. And the reason why they believe this is because it's in the woods. This will clear them of aircraft, helicopters. It also means they're relatively invisible. The downside is that if your opponent, who will be over here, opens with an artillery, which is fairly common to get 1 artillery, that means that this command armor will be the first thing he targets. He'll always target this place, because here's the thing. When you're thinking of this, go to his base. Where do you think that he's going to put his command vehicle? Well, you'll probably want to put it right here. That's probably where he's going to want to put it. So that's the first place you're going to target with artillery. So that's not going to be a great spot just because everyone thinks the same thing that you think. Where am I going to fire my artillery to kill that command vehicle? I'm going to go right here or right here. So those are great spots later in the game, but very bad spots early in the game. And it's absolutely possible for you to have your command vehicle start here and then creep it over here later in the game. Absolutely something you can do, and in fact it's a fairly good practice for these command Jeeps. After artillery fire comes out, you should move it. So, and a good idea is to move it close, but not on top of, but very close to where his artillery fire was, because if you move your command Jeep, he's going to assume that you moved it. So another smart little metagame tip. So this is a bad spot. This is an absolutely terrible spot. How about right here? This is a nice little spot. It's far away from the jungle, so the artillery is not going to hit it. It's a nice little called metagaming spot. On the downside though, here is a giant open area in which helicopters can attack from the side. Also aircraft. So all your opponent needs to do is get a recon over here, and you can pick this off for very, very easily cheap. So this whole side here becomes very, very bad. So where would you want to put your command vehicle? Well, it has to be in the woods, and it has to be in a place where you feel you would not artillery fire. This is kind of tricky. Now, you don't want it too close right here, because if he was a creep infantry through, he could kill this very easily with infantry or even recons by having a drop right here and just creeping through its side. With 0 armor, no weapons, they just die instantly. So you would want it maybe down here. Over here is very, very good. And then you're going to need some sort of support for this. So maybe like a recon squad right here to watch for this flank. Maybe an AA to cover for any kind of aircraft. And then your forward position should cover this flank. And then this command is good. Now, when you get out here, it gets a little more complicated. Because obviously, he's going to artillery this area. This is the most commonly artilleried area on this map. Because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 towns. Actually, this one's not a town. This is 1 building, I believe, and this is a building. So we have 2 towns and 3 buildings in this area. So this zone is going to be heavily, heavily artilleried. So it's very unwise to put it into this jungle area. Very bad, or dense forest as they call it. This area right here isn't going to be bad because there is a little ridge here protecting from any kind of attacks like this with rockets. There's also a forest blocking from this way and more ridges from the side. So this little corner right here is going to be very, very good. Another spot that's not going to be too bad is this little corner right here. This is not going to be a bad corner. And anything close to this forest, however, is going to get very dangerous. Because note he can place some AT right here and fire in this direction. So the closer you get to these forests, the worse you're going to get. So you want to be somewhere between this and this point along this axis, avoiding these towns and buildings, avoiding this jungle in the middle. So that's two different types of points we've talked about and command vehicles. And our third one, of course, is this bad boy here. And this one's a little more complicated because, you know, there's no real ridges, there's nothing really protecting. And this is a nice AT path. So if you were to put it in the open right here, you will lose it. Also, if you place it in this building, you could lose it to artillery. The jungle is very, very far forward near this area here, easy to get sniped. And so the number of places for you to place a command vehicle in this point is very limited. You can really only place it on this row of trees here. Now, if he's preemptively artillerying it, your best bet is to go as far away from this AT path as possible. Now note, he has to be in these shrubs here to hit the AT path. So right here, this little line here is going to be a great place to place this command armor. Once you get into the forward places, you see lots more trees, lots more cover, and you have a lot of things to worry about with these command vehicle placements. 1, aircraft. The more your vehicle is in the open, the worse it gets. 2, the more forward it is forward. That doesn't make sense. The more forward it is placed, the worse it's going to get. 3, you don't want to be too deep into the jungle, such as right here, because you could lose it to infantry. You don't want to be surrounding towns and all these jungles because they'll get artilleried. So this is a very simple concept, how to place your command vehicles. Hopefully this tutorial was helpful, and if you'd like to see more videos such as this, definitely subscribe to the channel. Also, we'll be having some replays from very, very talented players in the future, and possibly some more Game Cup coverage. My name is Troublmaker. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, and definitely favorite if you like this a lot. See you guys next week.